Yeah, hey, Matt, how do you explain the polar opposite nature of the first half and the second half for your team offensively?
Well, we got better looks, even though we had a couple of looks in the first half. I thought Minnesota did a really good job of defending us in the first half. But I thought our effort was pretty good on the glass that kept us in the game. And then, as we finished the first half, we got the number to a more manageable number. Obviously, they got up 14, and, our deficit was 5 at the half. And so, I thought we were in a great position for the way they shot and who made their shots and the way we shot the basketball. I just thought, but I didn't know if we could have the same half with Marcus Carr because he's such a good player. But I thought Eric Hunter did a really good job guarding him. I thought our team did a good job. Even though Eric's the one that's the most responsible for that, we still gave him a lot of attention. And with that, you're going to have some openings. And, they had a couple looks, and they had Eric Curry and, Trey Williams are not traditional three-point, shooters. And, we know that Kalsher and Jamal Mashburn and Carr and Robbins, those guys, they can make threes. But give them credit. Those guys came out there on fire. They played well, knocked down shots, had us on our heels. But it showed a lot from our guys. Just, proud of them to hang in there and keep their poise. I thought we hung our head a couple times in the first half when guys would make shots instead of just moving to the next play. But for the most part, I thought we just kind of moved on and just kept going. And then I thought we had a great start to the second half, and then, started making shots. But our ability to control the boards was huge tonight. And then obviously Brandon Newman had a great game shooting.
The point in the first half where you guys kind of got your legs under you offensively, it felt like it correlated with your guards, maybe doing a little bit more off the dribble, attacking closeouts a little bit more. Was that kind of an emphasis, or just?
Well, they got into the bonus. Isaiah and Brandon did it once. Eric Hunter did it a couple times, and just anytime people get into the bonus now, driving the ball, makes a lot of sense. But you also got to have movement. You got to get guys back cutting on the dribble. You got to get guys getting away to create space for the ball handler. But also, if they want to overhelp, be able to penetrate and pitch and knock down some shots. But yeah, that saved us. Our rebounding saved us in the first half, but also our free throw shooting definitely helped.
Just you'd mentioned the importance of the offensive glass. That kind of kept you in it offensively when you were struggling in the first half, but then you also put it away with what Mason did there in the second half. Just right. The importance of that element of the game was obviously pretty significant, right?
Sure. Just the extra possessions that it was giving us and the opportunities. I thought Eric Hunter, he the one possession, he got the one, long rebound. We had an open three, then we had another kick out three in the first half. And when that doesn't go, if you just keep doing it, good things are going to happen. And you reference Mason's, hustle and a couple of those offensive rebounds, but, Travion was a load. On the glass, being able to get 14 rebounds. And, that's something for him, just trying to get a balance of, offensive rebounds, putbacks, getting to the free throw line, getting post-ups, and then also using his ability to pass. But that was definitely, something that we emphasized, that we thought that, we could put ourselves in a good position, and our guys gave a great effort.
Starting Isaiah in the second half, what kind of went into that?
I just thought he was solid. He made 5 free throws. We kind of talk about our free throws at that time, and he did some really good things while he was in there. Even though he didn't have any field goals, he didn't have any turnovers. He did some good things defensively, and kept the ball in front of him. And so we just thought we needed a jolt there, and it was great because he played really good to start the second half. And then when Jaden came in, Jaden obviously gave us a spark. Jaden was really good in that stretch midway through the second half.
Brandon's kind of on this pattern this season where he has a great game, has a quiet game, has a great game, has a quiet game. Right. Any sense as to what he can do to kind of flatten that out a little bit?
Let the game come to him. Just be the best version of Brandon Newman he can be. He has out-of-body experiences, and he tries to be other people at times. Tonight he's a jump shooter. He can dribble the basketball after he plays through his shot fake, where he gets an angle, especially when he can get to his left hand. there's nothing wrong with that, but he wants to, be a two-way driver and do different things in traffic. He's just going to turn the ball over, and so like, just let that be, your off-season chore. Let that be what you work on. But right now, this is where you are. And so he goes back and forth with some of those things. And, he wants to be really good. He's a good player, but he wants all of it. And, you have to play to your strengths. And tonight I thought he just took what the defense gave him. He had a couple of those plays, but for the most part, take those threes, play off your shot fake. That's what they're going to say on the scouting report. Don't let him catch and shoot. Well, then shot fake, get people on their, jumping, and now you have an angle. Now you can shoot a pull up. And so, but he was really good tonight. He wants to be a good player. It's something as a coach that, you just love that piece of it. But when he has a little bit of success, that messes with him a little bit. Failure for him, he always responds to failure. And that's kind of the knee-jerk, behavior that guys will have as they go up and down as a freshman, is that when they have success, now it's, let's have some consistency now. Let's be consistent and stay with it, and you go up and down. So, but today obviously was a great day for him, but it's also a challenge for him. Now you've got to move forward and move to the next game and try to have a really good game there. What he's got to understand is what a lot of young guys don't like. You can still have a great game and not score a lot of points. Tonight he scored a lot of points. He carried the load for us at times. But, with that, like Eric Hunter had one of his best games since he's been here, because what he did defensively and, what he did, handling the basketball. And, he has 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 rebounds. He's one of the best players in the country and does a phenomenal job. But he didn't score, but yet he affected the game in so many ways. So that's just, just the growth of a young guy. So, but proud of Brandon, because he always spins back and wants to do well. But this is going to be a big challenge for him the second half of the Big Ten season.
Thank you, Matt.
No problem.
Mike?
Yeah, just the maturity of your team to be able to handle these double-digit deficits throughout the Big Ten season. I mean, are they maturing a little bit, maybe faster than you thought, or they're just kind of right where you thought they'd be?
Well, we have a lot of examples because we put ourselves in this position all the time. I probably need the speech I give at halftime, I should probably give before the game, now that I'm trying to think about it. I don't have a good answer for you, but no, it shows that, that they can keep their composure. They can chip away at something. Getting to 5 points at half was huge. We've been in, worse situations than that and came back and we were able to win, but putting that in that manageable number and kind of how they scored versus how, we struggled. I just thought it would balance itself out. I didn't think we'd win by 20 points, but I thought it would balance itself out and we'd have an advantage there. But I was also scared about Marcus Carr. You just don't know if you can hold him down like that, but we obviously were able to do that. So, yeah, but you gotta give our guys credit. Like, that's what we really talked to them about that. Like, here's the things that you've been able to do. We've been able to win games when we haven't shot well. And that's a good sign, even though you like to shoot the ball better. So our struggles in the first half are things that have happened already. But I believe this. I believe we have good shooters. What we have to do is be able to handle somebody's defensive pressure, them getting into us. Like, there's so many good defensive teams in this league. It's hard. It's hard to run offense. And we've had some struggles with it. We've had some success also, but we've had some struggles. So just trying to find, kind of that smooth patch to be able to execute and get better shots for guys that can make.
For you guys that struggled from three the last game and a half without Sasha, but for Mason to hit a couple threes there early in the second half, followed by Brandon, it just kind of opened up things. Do you feel like that opened up some things on the perimeter for you? Yeah,
no question. I think it opened up some things on the interior also. When Mason, he misses that first one in the second half, and then he gets it right back, which is when you miss one that's wide open like that as a shooter, like you want to get another crack at it. And then, he made the one in the corner also when Travion somehow missed a dunk and threw it to the corner. But no, it just, it's hard to get into that rhythm sometimes when you don't have a lot of cracks at it. But, I thought, obviously Brandon got into a rhythm. Jaden Ivey made a three, and then obviously Mason made those threes too. That we have a lot of guys that can shoot, but we got to be able to generate looks for them.
Trevion said that was a pass, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I got some land to tell you if you believe that.
I didn't say I believed it. I just said he said it was a pass.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right, no problem.
Anyone else for Coach Painter?
Can I get one?
Yep, go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, Coach. You talked earlier about Brandon, like how badly he wants to be good, and we're sitting here right now watching him and Jaden getting shots up after this game. What does it say about those two that you guys just beat a ranked team by 20 points and they're out here getting more shots up?
It says they like to shoot. They like to score, both of them. So, no, it's great, man. Like those guys, really all of our guys, they like the game. And when you get here and you have to do everything and you have to lift and you have to condition and, we're on them about their academics. We're on them about being on time. They have a lot of responsibility. You're in the middle of COVID and, you want to play well, but you also want to get in the game and stay in the game, and not everybody can do that. And so those guys are, they're both workers and they both put time in, but a lot of our guys, are that way. So, it's what you want in recruiting. You want to find guys that have a passion for the game, because when it gets tough and you have all those responsibilities, you have to keep working. That's going to separate you. Your work and how you approach practice and how you compete. Those things are important. They're really important. And those are your habits. That's how you build habits. It's every day working, every day putting in time, every day competing. And so that there's no different once you come to a game. So, both those guys, shoot. They shoot a lot. They put in a lot of time and on their game. So that's nothing that surprises me.
Brian, you want to talk about Maryland?
Yeah.
About Maryland.
Matt, hey, just real quick. I know you watched Maryland when you were scouting Minnesota here. What's different about them now as opposed to when you last played them, if anything?
Well, they really stretch you out. They're playing smaller, which they did in the game against us, which caused us some problems.
Yeah.
But it's causing a lot of people problems. They've really shown, going on the road, like being able to beat the teams that they have beaten, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota on the road. They're just, those are great wins. Those are very, very tough venues to play in and be able to pull out victories there. Obviously, they haven't had as much success at home, but just their guards, you look at all their guys like their guards, just because they can handle the ball, they can pass the ball, they can shoot it. Their athleticism, they have a lot of different guys that are, interchangeable pieces. I think when you do that defensively, you can really get after people. You can extend. You can switch a lot. And those things cause a lot of problems. So you got to be able to handle that first and foremost. But you also got to be able to guard them and contain the dribble and play off of their ISOs and their whether that's with the basketball up top or, a wing ISO or a post up. And they'll just break you down off the dribble and just try to put you in binds that make it tough for you. So it's going to be a tough game for us. We understand that. And obviously they're well coached. They're a good defensive team. They're very versatile.
Just the challenges of a team that plays smaller against your size when they can shoot from the perimeter the way Dante Scott can, the way Hamilton can, and whatnot.
Right.
These are good tests for your team, right, from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, it's a different test.
Yeah.
And even though those things that you're talking about, that happened tonight, like they had a pick and pop center,
Right.
That was shooting threes. They had different guys out there. Eric Curry made 2 threes, Robbins made 2 threes. And so those are 2 5-men that are stretching out. So we've been seeing some of that. I don't think it's as much. They'll really, really put you in a bind and go smaller, combo forward at the 5. So, but yes, it's a tough matchup. There's no way around it. You got to be able to match Maryland's intensity, and you got to be able to defend, them. But you also have to execute on the offensive end. If you're not going to now flip that back on them, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have a tough time. So it's I don't think that's the total game there, because I think it comes down to who competes, who plays hard, who doesn't, beat themselves, like, hold down on the turnovers, rebound the basketball, and you're going to give yourself a chance in those games. But it doesn't guarantee anything. But like I said earlier, they're well coached, and it's going to be a tough game.